We were supposed to release some other video this week, but there were so many updates in this week that we have to make this video instead. So in today's video, we will talk about the 5 major updates that came out this week that are relevant for international students here in Australia. So without wasting, let's jump to the first news of the week. The first news is about increase in the migration cap. So during the Jobs and Skills Summit this week in Canberra, Australian government announced that they will be increasing the skilled migration cap by another 35,000 places. So there were 160,000 places for this financial year for the migration cap. Now it has been increased to 195,000 places for this financial year, which is a great news for anyone who's planning to migrate to Australia. And many international students usually apply for these skilled migration visas. So increase in those numbers means that there will be more people able to settle here permanently. And that is what government actually wants to do anyways. Looking to encourage more permanent migration than a temporary migration. And many states and territories are also releasing their own skilled occupation lists as well. So make sure to check all those skilled occupation lists that are coming out from different states and territories. The second major news is in regards to the visa processing. So during the same Jobs and Skills Summit, Australian government announced that they will be providing additional $36 million to the Department of Home Affairs to increase the speed of visa processing. Visa processing has been one of the key concerns for many international students, and we have been getting reports from many students that they have been unable to get their visas in time for their studies, and we have discussed that in one of our previous videos as well. So the government is really committed to get this visa backlog out of the way. But they are not only just providing the funding, they will also be providing additional public sector staff in order to faster this visa process. So it's a very positive news, and we're looking forward to those visas getting processed faster. The next news is about the COVID isolation. So if you are in Australia and unfortunately you caught COVID-19, you have to obviously isolate if you have tested positive for COVID-19. But now that isolation period has been reduced from 7 days to 5 days, except for the people who are working in a high risk settings, like for example people working in aged care, or for the people who are still showing symptoms, they will still have to isolate for 7 days. But if you don't have any symptoms and if you feel perfectly okay, you can leave your isolation after 5 days. And with this change, it has been also reported that the pandemic leave payment will also be reduced. Currently it is $750 and it will be reduced to around $540. Just keep in mind that this change will come into effect from 9th of September. Now the next one is in regards to the masks on flight. So along with the COVID-19 isolation period reduction, government also announced that they will be scrapping the need of masks on domestic flights in Australia. So if you are going to travel on any domestic flight, you don't need to wear masks anymore. Obviously, after arriving into Australia, you might need to travel to other city. So for that domestic flight, you do not need to wear a mask. For international flights, there is still requirement for wearing masks. And as soon as there is any update about that, we'll keep you posted. So make sure to subscribe to this channel and follow us on Instagram as well. And just keep in mind that this change will also come into effect from 9th of September as well. Now the last major news is in regards to increase in the time frames for post-study work visas. As I mentioned earlier, that the government is trying to focus more on long-term migration than the temporary one. So government does want to focus on international students who are already studying here to start applying for longer term visas. So students who will be studying in verified areas of skilled shortages will be able to get additional time frame on their post-study work visas. Obviously, it will not be for every single qualification. It will be only focused on the areas where there is a skills shortage, and those qualifications or areas hasn't been announced as such, but you can get some ideas from the skilled occupation list for that. And for those students who will be doing a courses in the skills shortage areas, it is estimated for the bachelor's degree students, it will be increased from 2 years to 4 years of post-study work visa, and master degree students who are usually getting 3 years will get 5 years of post-study work visa, and PhD students will get 6 years of post-study work visa instead of 4 years. Again, these will be only for the qualifications that fall into that category of skill shortages. And because you have stayed this long, here is a bonus update for you. There is a big update in regards to international students' work hours. As you know, at the moment, international students can work unlimited hours, but the restrictions on the work hours will come back from next year, June itself. So the Minister of Home Affairs has announced the restrictions on the student work hours will come back from June 2023. And how many hours will that be? Will it be back to 40 hours per fortnight or more or less? It will be done after consultation with other stakeholders, as government wants to make sure that there is a balance between study and work for international students. So hope you like this bonus added update as well. And then that pretty much sums up our update for this week. I hope you find the information useful. Please let us know your thoughts about these news in the comment section below. And as always, if you find any value, please make sure to share it with your friends as well. And thank you for watching. See you in the next one.